What's going on, guys? My name is Chris and this is AAG Explores, and today we are going to do Banished. Now, typically with this series, what I'll do is I'll do like first impressions kind of thing, but with Banished being a survival city kind of simulator, I knew that I wanted to kind of slow down and take some time to actually learn the game, because ideally, since it's such a complicated game, this is one of the kind of games that I really do truly enjoy. I just bought it and I want to make sure I knew some stuff about it, so I played a little bit. I already had an entire town that I decimated, so this is my second town, named after Merlarn. I believe that's how the spelling is. If you ever played Dark Age of Camelot and you played as Midgard, starting town of Merlarn. That's right. Because I'm not a creative person, so coming up with names has never been my strong suit. Surprising, I came up with the series names I already have. Anyway, so this is my little town I probably put in maybe an hour or so. I'm on late winter of year 3. Now, it should be noted that while this might be year 3, these actual citizens that I have will be growing at probably about 2 or 3 years for every one actual rotation of seasons. So it's not 100% accurate on that. What I have here is my little town. So I have 5 little houses here. I started out with enough people to fill up basically 4 houses. I can see all the occupants, who they are, and their age, and then you have their inventory, so I can see they have firewood, fish, and venison. So while my food here, this is all the storage of food, I have my logs, my firewood, food, all this stuff. While my food here might be low, it's not necessarily a negative thing, because they do all pretty much have some kind of storage. I'm going to need to up my production, but I just finished building a fishing dock, so like that. So this is, I'll go ahead and run through some suggestions I have with this game. If I zoom all the way out, you can see I basically cleared off all the resources in this little area, and I'm just about to get out of winter. A lot of this game is about managing your professions, the professions of your people. That's pretty much the bulk of the game. You can see all your professions here. Starting out, you start out with all of your guys being laborers, and they're kind of the typical. They gather your resources that you tell them to go gather, and I believe they're also able to bring resources to building sites if needed. Then you obviously have builders, farmers, herdsmen, So as you build these different buildings, you'll eventually be able to put different kinds of people into each one of these kinds of buildings. As it stands now, I'm kind of short-staffed on a lot of this stuff. And I just don't have enough food. I actually just went through where I think I lost like probably good 3 or 4 people because I ran out of food. So hopefully things will start turning around here now that winter is over. I think I'm going to start building some. I kind of want to build some crops, to be honest with you. It probably help with this yield. Actually, it's early spring. Let's go and show you what some crops are like. I believe. Here we go. Crop field. So I'm just gonna build a small one. I can always demolish it later. Actually, because I'm that kind of guy, I like to go balls out. No, I have to do. Again, I'm one of those guys. I have to do everything equal. So 15 by 15 is the biggest you can do, and then I don't have to remove anything. So all I need is my builders to come over. So let's go and speed this up. You can control your speed down here. It goes up to times 10. You got 1, 2, 5, and 10. These little question marks here are basically when it says that there's no one employed to work at it. So this is my woodcutter and my blacksmith. I already have 50 tools, so I have plenty here. And then my woodcutter, all these guys still have firewood, and then I have 261. And being early spring, I rather them do some other things. If we take a little trip, I have my 2 fishing docks. I have a 3rd one here. Hopefully that'll help counteract my shortage of food, which I'll probably end up having somebody die here in a second because of lack of food, but we'll see how that goes down. I've just started building a mine here to get. Why does that keep going away? I guess I just naturally want to get rid of it, I guess. But I just started building a mine. These are going to give me iron. You can build quarries where you can get stone. And then here I just cleared away for a gatherer's hut again to get more food. These guys like to get, they go around the forest and they gather berries and herbs and stuff like that to feed people. I have my herbalist here. They produce medicine, and again, these have to go around the forest. And then I put my hunting cabin here because they go and hunt venison. So, of course, we can see that I stuck them kind of in. This is going to be, I couldn't really do a whole lot between these two mountains anyways, so I decided I was just going to go ahead and stick my guys in between the forest here. So that way, everything that's necessary to have forest, besides the forest being chopped down, I can just have them have a nice little nook and cranny away from everything else. So then I do my nice wooden bridge. Let's see here. I don't know why this isn't necessarily being built yet. Let's see. What are my builders up to? Where are you, little builders? But one of the other things I was going to do here is I have a forester's lodge because I wanted to try to use this little section. It's big enough, hopefully. And if I can build this, I want to start getting a steady supply of wood. So the Forester's Lodge here, it'll allow me to have them plant seeds for trees, and then they'll also cut them down at appropriate times. So if I can build like one here, and I'm thinking probably like one over here, just something where it's like it's already kind of difficult to place stuff, then it'll be a lot easier. I don't know. So let's see. It is spring, and I need like one builder. Let's go and up the speed. I think I've done a pretty good job of running over things. So basically, this is actually a very challenging game. It looks very simple, but some of the smaller things that should be noted are that each individual person, if I can click on one of these little runners, not only do you have your normal stats and everything that tell you if they're educated, which will make them more efficient workers, and what their clothing like, but it'll say if they're playing, and so like that. This is a child, but it'll also say like, you know, they're going to get food, if they're hungry or whatever. So it's always best to be able to you know, to know what exactly your guys are up to. So let's see if I can actually no. I need all my guys to just be constantly getting food. So again, right now I'm kind of stuck in a rock and a hard place on getting all this stuff done. Again, Gatherer's Hut is just being finished up. So not only do they have to remove certain obstacles that are in the way, logs, stone, and then they have to actually build the damn thing. So being on ×5, it goes relatively fast. Again, you can see up here, you can see your adults. So while I have 21 people I need to provide for, 5 of them are children. So I only have 16 people to work with to actually provide all my resources. And then I can see the actual temperatures like that. So I can see that one of my citizens is hungry. This is actually, you know, this game does a really good job, especially considering, again, this game was created by one man to show you all the necessary information. So let's see, this guy's a fisherman, and I don't know why he's just standing around. There's plenty of fishing to be done. I mean, with people going hungry and shit. So let's see here. Alright. Yeah, see, a child has died of starvation, and that fucking fisherman man, screwing over little children. Stupid douche. Look at these. Look at this. 2 people live here that are fishermen, and their child died of starvation. Dumb. That's right, you're just a burden on me anyways. Let's go and just get him to build together. So again, I just need this early summer, and I still don't have enough food just to get through this time. So this is really rough. One of the things that me and my friends have realized is that basically you're almost constantly probably having 2/3 of your population get food. It's just a bitch. Like my friend welcomed nomads into his city, because if you have a town hall, you get like some census data and stuff like that, which is really cool to track stuff. But then you also can, nomads will show up from time to time, which will be really nice to give you boosts to like your population stuff. So that means you have more free workers. The problem is though, is that when he welcomed like 14 nomads in, those people just ate through his reserves of food like crazy, and he was struggling for probably a good 3 or 4 years to be able to get his city back on track and just be able to survive and get through the winter. So again, like I'm looking at, it's midsummer. I would like to start chopping wood, but I need to get this Gatherer's Hut up, so hopefully it'll finish up here. Again, this was put down probably a year ago, so that should give you an idea of exactly what's going on. My friend consistently says, you know, you don't want to be expanding too fast, which is pretty true, but your initial resources do run out quite quickly. So if I had any suggestions, I'd suggest just getting a shit ton of food. Just like the first several buildings you make, you know, fisheries or, you know, gathering huts or whatever it is, beside your houses, basically get tons of food and get a woodcutter, and then, you know, after the first winter, and just go from there, and then just kind of plan out what you need. Again, I grew maybe 4 or 5 guys, and was still expanding my supplies for food, and it just wasn't fast enough, and they all died. So basically, I still haven't recovered from my losses. You will pay for losses to your town severely, quite quickly as well. And not only that, but they will the losses will last for a very, very long time. You will not have it's late summer. I might as well just turn these guys into fishermen instead of trying to take out this freaking crop field here. You notice that the herbalist is providing medicine that's slowly healing my citizens. They were at 3 hearts, now they're at 3.5, which is good. Happiness is affected also by the death of people. You can build like cemeteries and stuff, which will help make it to where people aren't as sad when their family members die, because they're not just rotting above everything. So again, I'm just kind of waiting for these children to grow up so I can get some more. You know, these guys do have living, breathing families. They are born here, they grow up there, they start working, they get old, and they die. At a certain age, they stop working, and they just stay at home, and they become a burden again. So you really do have just a mixture of all this kind of stuff. You also have students, so once children hit a certain age, if you have a school, which you can build... is it what that is? Yeah, so you can build school, and your citizens will become more productive and stuff, because obviously they'll have better knowledge on how to do things. This house has just been struggling. Let's go and build one of them. So one of my children just got old enough to where he can start working, and I put him to work making firewood. I just don't have enough food. It's ridiculous. But then you'll look at like other places. I mean, this is 24 venison. Like, I am gonna have a really rough time getting through this next winter. This, you know, little place should be decently stored up, but. And let's go ahead and. Let's go ahead. You know, I can have you cut wood in the middle of summertime, or in the middle of winter. Let's go ahead and put up 2 gatherers. I need to get as much food as possible while I can. So my plan is basically after this next winter, once it's finally passed, then I'm going to try to get this crop filled up, because this field is very big. If I can get 2 people to consistently work on it and maintain it and stuff, I should be able to get probably a good like 1,000, 2,000 food out, which will help bring me back up. Getting these farms up is actually a really big deal. Another great thing is you have 2 different kinds. So 2 different kinds of storage. You have your storage barn, and your storage barn is used for things like tools and food, coats, that kind of stuff. And then you have your stockpiles. So I have 2 here. This is my starting one, and I built another one. And this is used for like firewood, iron logs, stone, that kind of stuff. Some of your raw materials and stuff. Again, struggling with food still. And if anyone is looking for a game that is kind of like more just sit back, relax, you're not doing a whole lot, I would really suggest Banished. Banished is a great game for that kind of thing. The other day, I wasn't actually really planning on buying it as much as I had done a video on it. I had kind of, played around with the idea of it and stuff, but I didn't know if I was going to have time between making videos and everything. And then just one day I was like, you know what? I need to be a gamer for once and actually just like sit down and play a game that I want to play. And so I bought the game, and I haven't regretted it at all. I sat down for 3 hours that day and just relaxed, and it was awesome to be able to just not to do what I wanted. So the thing that I don't understand, like, so he just killed a deer here to get food. Hunter, it's not within his range. Didn't bother to kill this one and left the pelt. Not sure why. Not sure why at all. I'm also running out of coats, so eventually I'm going to need to get a tailor here, so people can start surviving the winter. But again, I'm just worried about getting enough freaky food. So I mean, I constantly close that window for whatever reason. Again, this game is, I mean, it's nice and relaxing. You can kind of sit back, but you can't just ignore things. You're always thinking. But it's different in the sense of like a first-person shooter. I'm not hunched over, freaking out about what's going on. So I honestly really have enjoyed this game so far. This is something that when I just got back from an 8-hour shift at work, and being able to sit back and just maintain a village is a lot of fun. Again, you'll notice that I'm just basically dwindling my supplies. I have like my amount of stored logs is like basically nothing. God, I keep closing that window. I'm so terrible about that. Because it was a way to like, I wish I could have that little pin thing here. Let's see. And then, yeah, so you got plenty of production. So this is a really small town. You can also upgrade your houses to stone houses. And basically it makes it to where they'll help you basically stay like warm, easier during like the winter time, so they use like less logs, which is great when you don't want to have to provide so much you know, firewood for during the winter times like that. So it'll help cut back on stuff, but it takes major investment. Like right now, just to get one house, it's 24 logs, 40 stone, and 10 iron. So that's a big upgrade, but you know, it pays off later on. At least that's what I've been told. When you start you know, bringing more people in. Let's see here. So it's late winter. I'm gonna need, oh gosh, okay, so I'm gonna have to cut back. That's alright, I'll cut back on my fishermen here. I'll cut back on my hunters. My fishermen can work all year round. And then you can become farmers. Now that's late winter, you'll immediately start working on this once you can. But what's also nice is any guys that have these little question marks over their head, what they'll do is they'll immediately just start going gathering resources. If you don't have a job for them to work, then they will go do basic laborer jobs. So they're never just going to be technically standing around. They will go do something. So it's just early spring, so they still can't plant anything just yet. So even though they're farmers, they still, you know, they still can't go out and you know, plant any seeds yet because there's still snow on the ground. So once the snow finally goes away, you should see all these. Hopefully, I think if everything goes well, everything is working correctly here, then you should see these little question marks go away and these people begin to start farming soon. So yeah, once the snow comes back in, it's not over yet. Come in. I want this field to be planted as soon as possible, and because I need to start reaping in some serious amounts of food. So I'm not providing as much food now. Slowly building up a storage here. Again, fisherman's hut and everything else has helped to provide a lot more. But I look at my population's already gone up. Probably was it like 2 or 3 just as I got here, and I don't really have the food for that. So let's see if I can. And then I have a little tool here my friend showed me, which is this little up arrow, and it increases priority. So I'm going to go ahead and increase priority here. So anybody that I need to work these fields, I need these freaking workers already. Come out now, let's go. Ah, that's why, because I'm a damn fool. Why won't you? Guess I need, builders? Build my, okay, so I need my builders to come in because I'm an idiot. So I need my builders to come through here and clear out this place. So we'll go ahead and increase priority again. So my builders should now immediately come over here, hopefully, and clear out this area. And then once they're done clearing out these little plants that are in my way of my crop field, then I should be able to hopefully get my crops up. I don't know why they're not going there. But as with any AI, you know, where you don't have direct control. I don't know if you guys ever played a game called Majesty. I think it's Majesty, where you kind of like recruited heroes and you had citizens, they did their own thing. This is one of the things I've always felt kind of frustrated with you know, certain certain games of this type, where it's just kind of a bitch to get people to do what you want them to do. I really need these guys to start coming over here and building this stuff. And it says that working on this location. It's like visiting the herbalist, picking up resources, picking up resources, picking up resources. Like, I don't know why they're picking up resources. Beyond me right now. Come on now. So I need these guys to start working. But I guess I'm starting to build a supply of food, so it doesn't really matter as much. I probably need to get all these trees cleared out anyways, because I'm low on logs. So my big thing is with my population about this. I know this is gonna sound weird, but skyrocket. I mean, adding 3 or 4 more to my population. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to maintain that with the kind of production I have going with food and all this other stuff. We'll see. I mean, I'll probably just throw them towards making their own food, which will be useful. Let's go ahead and build her off. What are my guys? I mean, the guys should be building this, but they're not. Oh, there you go. So now they're just starting to remove it. That's what I'm saying. So there's little things about this game that can be a little frustrating. It can be really time consuming to do little things like this. If I had built the crops over on this side, I don't think I would have had an issue because I wouldn't have had any plants here. But these plants, I mean, basically, you could have one guy go over here and clean it up. Especially when you think about the amount of time that's supposed to be represented. It's now summertime, and they couldn't come over here and pull up some fucking weeds and plant a field. Little on the frustrating side, of course. Again, medicine's looking pretty good. I don't know why my guys are losing health. Considering that I still have medicine stored up. Kind of beyond me. Again, medicine's here. I'm sure that, So I'm looking to see, I'm getting onions. Don't know where, I guess onions probably come from my gatherers. So I got some good influx of food. You see how this house is just like stocked up on food? Probably because they were in a big famine before. 150 fish, so yeah. I'm actually starting to get a nice supply then. Yeah, getting a great supply here. Roots, venison, and fish. So yeah, I'm actually doing really good when it comes to getting my food in order. Firewood's looking halfway decent, so. But I think this should give you guys a decent overview on exactly what you should expect, especially being in the beginning stages of the game like I am here. It's really important to make sure that you have a ton of food. Don't expect that kind of stuff is just going to happen, because it won't. It won't just happen. You have to make it happen. See, shortage of logs. Noted. Let's see, I need. Let's go ahead and increase the priority for said logs. Come on, guys. Seriously, how hard could it be to pick up these freaking things? Let's go here. Let's see. Can't do anything because there's no logs. So there's no logs, I can go ahead and just have you become a normal laborer. Plus, I already have plenty of firewood at this point anyway, so let's just go make you a builder. Let's get this. I want this shit cleared out because it's early autumn, and if I can at least get cleared out by the end of winter, then hopefully I can get some crops planted, and then I can hopefully cut back on, maybe 1 or 2 fishermen having, crops be able to produce just as much as they probably would. These guys just go cut down trees and leave it for somebody else to come collect. I'm not exactly sure why that is, but hey, I'm not going to complain too much. So there's a lot that could be added to this game. I know that a lot of people have said that if you spend a lot of time, much my friend spent 10 hours, and he finally got to 200 citizens. If you spend a fair amount of time, once you get to the point where things are kind of steady and you're not really worried about growing your town anymore, you already have pretty much all the buildings unlocked and all that kind of stuff, that it can kind of get a little bit on the boring side. But since I've already put in about 3 hours into this game, and I have not had that kind of thing happen to me at all, so far it's been pretty solid. No real worries for me. I haven't been bored. I've been actively trying to get these guys to remove these fucking bushes. Come on. What is with you guys? Usually it's really easy, but good lord. My builders just being fucktards. If I'm honest. The big issue that I had with my first village was I didn't have a blacksmith until it was too late, and so my guys ended up, if I'm, to be brutal about it, my guys basically died because they didn't have tools to collect everything. My fishermen didn't have fishing poles. The guys that, my farmers didn't have, hoes and, rakes to be able to take care of the fields and stuff. Reserve of food is low. It's okay. It's just my reserve. Everyone else has plenty of food. But yeah, it just was terrible. And so I ended up having like only 2 people who had tools, and one of them was a blacksmith. And so by the time they finally started being able to produce tools, it was just too late. My like entire village was basically, freaking screwed. So that was fun. Try to do that. Why won't you remove stuff? Good lord. Well, now it's beginning of winter. I'm gonna go to ×10 because I don't have anything to do except for to try to get this freaking crop field built. Oh my god! Remove the plants. Even children can pluck some weeds. Let's go, bitches. Come on. Look at that. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Nobody. I have 4 builders that are supposed to be working on this, and instead they're not. They're picking up resources, picking up resources, picking up resources. It's cold. It's gathering food. It's gathered food. It's picking up resources. Oy vey. Yeah, so stupid. Don't know why this is. Increase priority over here. Do this thing, please. Love of Jesus. I think it's really weird because I know it's perfect. I'm not even gonna bother re-editing this because it just shows that it does exist. But I mean, I haven't had this issue pretty much at all in any of my own personal play, and then all of a sudden I film a video and then it happens. So I had a freaking spam priority just to get a fucking building built. Yeesh. And it wasn't even building; it was clearing out weeds. Rage. I just got off work. I don't want to deal with this. I just want you to build my crop field, okay? Just build it. That's all I'm saying. Just take a hoe and put it in the ground and just take out the weeds. I don't know, man. I don't know. Don't judge me. I know you're not going to judge me because you guys love me and I love you, but don't judge me. Right. So now I have my 4 farmers. Woo! And 2 laborers. Okay, so my population went up here. Immediately, I'm going to do squash and have you work. So I tell them what to build. So these guys are now going to go over here, hopefully, and immediately start planting. This is actually really cool. I'll go and zoom in for this. And we'll go ahead and end it up in a little bit here. I think half hour is like plenty of time to really get an idea for these kind of videos. If you guys want my videos to run longer or shorter, you feel like they don't do a good enough job explaining certain things, let me know. I want to know what you guys think. I want to be able to, again, provide content. Ooh, excuse my burp. Oh yeah, coffee's kicking back. I want to be able to provide content that you guys enjoy. So, hey, if you enjoy this video, please tell me down below. I want to know. Honestly, I love having conversations with you guys and be able to talk to you guys. And probably my favorite part about doing all of this kind of stuff is just being able to communicate, hang out with you guys, and talk to you guys. I already know I've already kind of figured that if this does end up taking off and I do end up having a chance, to make some real money off of this kind of stuff, and there we can see the plants growing. But if I do end up starting to make any kind of real money off this stuff, and you guys really do start to bring friends to my channels like that, I want to make sure that even if I was even lucky enough to be where I was even making equivalent to what I do at my normal job with this, I still want to make the time like every day to at least spend an hour or at least a half hour, depending on how busy my day is, to talk to you guys and answer comments and like your guys' comments and answer messages you send me. So I completely plan to be able to to be able to constantly communicate with you guys. And if God forbid somehow you guys enjoy me enough to be able to get me anywhere near like 100,000, 200,000 subscribers, which I'm not saying I deserve, especially at this point in time, but if you guys ever did, then I would be indebted and would absolutely have to. It's actually something that is recently discussed with some other YouTubers out there, some smaller people out there. We're talking about how much more it seems like we connect with our audiences, or at least attempt to connect our audiences, than the mainstream YouTubers do. That they kind of just talk about how vile and disgusting like their audiences can be, and how a lot of their viewers will just say a bunch of hateful stuff. But in my mind, I just kind of say, well, then you're not breeding the kind of right audience. I'm not saying that you're always going to be able to control that kind of stuff, but there are plenty of people out there, Vlog Brothers, Yogscast is a pretty solid audience, like a really core audience that love their content that these guys put out, and really try to push to have a really great audience that is engaged and kind of stands to the same principles and stuff. So I know for myself, I would like to make sure that any audience that I have, that you guys are constantly flagging people for being abusive in the comment section down below, and that you try to help maintain this kind of stuff. I don't have any filters on my comments specifically because I want you guys to be able to talk freely, but I also don't want people to be abusive and rude to one another. Looks like my squash is not going to yield as much as I was hoping. It looks like probably my squash fields aren't going to do so well. I know why it's early summer and it's still raining. It rains like balls. But we'll see if more of the stuff takes off just summertime, hopefully here. You got enough water, that's for sure. But again, some crops are going to grow better on certain maps than others, so looks like squash are probably not going to grow all that much. They are tending to this field like nuts. But yeah, we'll go ahead and end in a second here. But if you guys want to see more of this kind of stuff, I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to doing a Let's Play on this, but I already feel like I got one going on for Total War, and I'd rather just kind of do one at a time. But if you do end up liking this kind of stuff, let me know, and I will reply back with some of my favorite Banished Let's Players out there. I know there's quite a few people out there who enjoy this game enough that they're doing like Let's Play series and stuff like that on there. I know there's a guy, I think it's like Gamer's Descent. You can look him up. I know he's doing a Banished series. He's actually probably the person I ran into that was doing this game before it was released, so I highly suggest you look into him. But yeah, let's go ahead and I'll go ahead and speed it up, and you guys can see what I mean by harvesting my crops. Looks like everything else turned out, so I probably didn't have to worry about my crops too much. Again, see the yield just did not go up, so I know that the squash are not going to do very well here at all. I mean, we'll see it probably go up a little bit, but it's late summer. Having 25% yield off a field is basically useless. So food supply is low. Once it hits autumn, we're going to go ahead and just, once we hit autumn, they automatically start harvesting. So it looks like apparently that's when the squash come into their own, is during the autumn season. I guess maybe he tracks the guy. There was one gentleman who made this game, so I guess once he tracked it, then we're gonna, he kind of made it to where they're more appropriate for when they're actually supposed to grow. That's good. So I'm gonna get even more yield out of it. But you notice my food right here is just going up like crazy. So I have a nice supply of food. So that's good. Let me just, wow, that's crazy. So once wintertime rolls around, I'll go ahead and I'm going to focus on getting medicine and firewood, hopefully here. But yeah, so now that you guys kind of get an idea of what Banished is, I think I gave some pretty good detail. Let me know if you guys have any questions. If I have the information or know somebody who has the information, I will direct you to that. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode of AAG Explores. Don't forget, if you have a game that you want me to explore, go ahead and either message it to me or you can comment it down below. Also, don't forget to like, share, favorite, and subscribe. I appreciate you guys' viewership, if you couldn't tell at all. Thank you so very much for everything, and I'll see you guys next time.